Alright, welcome back everybody to Let's Paint TV. That's right, Lone Deer. It is Tech Talk Friday here on Let's Paint TV, where we're not going to do any painting today at all. Guaranteed. No painting. I don't have my paints with me. They are 20 miles away. So even if I wanted to paint, I could not paint unless we could draw. We could draw, which wouldn't be a bad idea, frankly. Okay, I'm gonna get some coffee here. Oh man, I'm gonna fall asleep here. I don't know if you can see me. We're having some technical difficulties, as you can see. However, it is kind of fascinating. What is going on? How is this working? Oh, okay. So it is this camera is doing it. Okay. So it's actually quite beautiful. The feed we're getting. So we might want to just keep it there for a bit while I get some coffee. You want to call the program, you can, 818-528-4516. Oh, earthquake. Also, get some tweets going. Let's go work our tweets. Tonight, at 8 o'clock, we're going to be doing live shows today. And at the Blackstone Gallery, 9th and Broadway, we'll be there live. I'll be having a guest. A special guest, Alex Cumula, will be there. I was going to have someone maybe a little more famous on the program. But as with most famous people, they don't always they don't always fall through. They don't always fulfill. It doesn't always work out. There's always a reason it doesn't work. Okay, so 818-528-4516 is the number. If you want to call the program, there's the number, 818-528-4516. You want to call the program? You can call the program. You can. I'm going to get some coffee here. Sit right back and enjoy the programming here, if you'd like. I got a new camera because I'm trying to switch out to Tech Talk time. Just let me get some coffee. Let me get some. Just get coffee. Alright, we're back. Let's Paint TV. Tech Talk time. TikTok Tech Talk time. Here. Reading your chats. You want to call us? You can. 818-528-4516 is the number. Paint my taint, says Derek. Says, I guess I could. I guess I could if you really want. I don't know how you do that, but I guess I'm inclined to paint anything. And if you want me to paint your taint, I may very well do that. How late do I stay up at night? Not terribly late. I'm not really a night owl. Though they said really smart people tend to stay up really late, and they don't sleep that much. I think I heard that Bill Clinton only gets like 4 hours sleep. I could imagine if you were the president of the United States, you would not sleep much. That would be a very strange job to have, for sure. There's a part of me that could do it. I think I could get into. I think I could be the president of the United States. I think I could do it. I think I could get into the whole deal. I wouldn't be good at speeches. I'd be terrible at speeches. I'd have to just stumble through them. But once everyone realizes that's what happens, then people could make fun of me for that, and it wouldn't bother me, because I know that that's what I do. I stumble and bumble. The stumbling, bumbling president. But they're always doing something. They're always press conferences and making decisions. It must be quite a whirlwind of activity in that brain constantly. It might be kind of interesting. It would be definitely a departure from what I do here at Let's Paint TV. Twiddling my thumbs all day, wondering what to do, or experimenting. Ultimately, is what we're doing. I guess ultimately that's what it is. It's an experiment. Wow, you guys chatting it up here. You're gonna need a lot of brown, says Derek Coe. Okay. Fantastic. Looks like there is some activity in the chat room. Fantastic. And that is our intention here, is to chat it up and make your life a lot more manageable and exciting. Anyways, before I ventured off to get a cup of coffee, I was aware, or made note, that I'm trying to get rid of my video cameras that use tape. I think the last time they made video tapes in conjunction with video cameras, probably, when was the last one made? I would imagine it was probably at least 5 years ago or more. I dare I say 10 years ago. Well, I bought one probably in 2008 or 9. So it hasn't been, but I think they probably haven't been making them in, I don't know, maybe they still make them. Anyway, but they're a pain in the butt for various reasons. Anyway, so I picked up a real cheap, which could be a problem, because I always buy cheap stuff. But I bought a new little camera deal that I'm trying to hook up to the computer, to our system here, and try to bring it online, but I don't think I can do it. Because as usual, with anything with technology backed securities and scenarios, things don't always line up correctly, and things don't work for you as you would want them to. So it's not, might take a little doing, as one might, as it becomes, as it becomes, it will work itself out. I wouldn't mind hanging out with George W. Bush and paint with him. He's pretty talented. I would probably avoid talking about anything else politics wise. I would steer clear of that. I mean, I might allude to some form of what's going on, or what had gone on, or what goes on in that world, but I'd probably avoid it. Yeah, creativity is kind of dangerous. Just thinking about it. A lot of leaders are artists, or dabbled in the arts. And I think you all, of course, are aware of GWB Junior, or GB Junior, or he's never called Junior, right? But anyway, his paintings. I hate to say it, but his paintings are better than mine on many fronts. They're definitely naive, which I like naive work, I think, to some degree. Boy, talking about art and or particularly painting, and just to follow up, of course, we all are somewhat aware that Hitler was a failed artist, and Winston Churchill did a lot of painting himself. A Sunday afternoon, he fashioned himself as a Sunday afternoon painter. Winston Churchill. In fact, I saw one of his watercolors or paintings. I don't know if it was a watercolor, at the Hallmark Museum, I believe. That's what they call it, there in Kansas City, Missouri. Hallmark Card Company. The Hallmark Card Company is based in Kansas City, Missouri, and it's that you get to walk through they have a showroom, and so they have on display a lot of stuff from their history, if you will. And I guess somehow Winston Churchill might have provided an image or two for Hallmark cards, or at least he corresponded with them. Anyway, somehow there is a painting of his there. I don't recall it was terribly too big. And there's all this other stuff, Hallmark cards, you can even watch Hallmark movies. They made movies, TV specials. They have those on display. They're really proud of those. And at the end of the tour, they actually make you a little Hallmark card as like a little thank you. Kind of like when you go to a beer brewery and you tour the brewery, and at the very end you get a little 4-ounce glass of beer. Anyway. I was going to get into some other kind of story topic, but ended up talking about Hallmark cards, which no one ever sends cards out, do they? Christmas cards are a thing of the past for the most part. Remember I'd say about 10 years ago, with the sort of more and more people getting online and thinking that doing stuff on the internet was, well, it was a new thing in a way. 10 years ago, I guess. I don't have my facts correct here in terms of time and exact dates, but let's just throw out 10 years ago. And everybody was sending you little video greeting cards. Remember that? Remember video greeting cards? I'm sending you a video greeting card to say happy birthday, yay! And then the person who receives it has to like open it up, and I guess those are still around. I don't know if anyone does that anymore, but I got a feeling that not many people do. And then those Jib Jab people, that's how they got kind of successful. They started taking over that market with their little cutout, sort of shitty South Park renditions, making little greeting cards. I guess they capitalized. We're still trying to capitalize here at Let's Paint TV. I don't know if it's going to ever happen, but we're going to try. Okay, what happened to the chats? You guys still there? All right, you're watching Let's Paint TV. You want to call the program? You can. 818-528-4516. There it is. 818-528-4516. Call in and chat away. Chit chat. I'm going to check my emails. Nothing over there in the email department. We've got a comment over on Facebook. Bradford says, I was curious about those guitar pedals, and got a comment here from Bradford. John, go to local pawn shops, music stores, and just buy the cheapest things you see. For your purposes, tossing anything interesting into your signal chain is going to be fun to play with. Yay! Yeah, I agree. Just get something cheap, $20, whatever, and see what happens. Speaking of that, let's go back and play some. Let's make some music. We can make some music here. Because I don't think there's a way to hook up this new camera as much as I would think I would like to have it hooked up. I don't think it's at the moment possible at this moment. However, I could try something here. And if I were to do that, I might lose some kind of frequency, whatever, but it might be an interesting move. I might try this. Let's see if that's possible. If I take this off. But if I do that, then I would get rid of the possible multiple endless cameras that no, I guess that goes somewhere else. Wow, I don't know what, I guess with USB and then okay, that's Thunderbolt. Okay, Thunderbolt. Okay, Thunderbolt. And then USB. I get confused about all the things on the back of these computers. The difference between a USB and then, I guess that's a FireWire? Maybe that's what that is. That's a FireWire. Well, what I think I discovered most likely is my computer can't handle more than one USB signal. it can only handle one camera at a time, I guess. So I don't know if that's going to be, if anything, anything can come from that. If I can fix it, make it work, and I believe I can't at the moment. I'd have to do some research. I got my paint. I don't have my paints. My paints are at the my art gallery show. A big show that no one knows about here in Los Angeles. If you're not part of some giant get a USB hub. They're pretty cheap. That's possible, Lone Deer. I have USB. Do they still have blood? I don't know what blood you're talking about. I got USB ports available on the back of my computer. So it's not that I don't have a way to plug in a USB port, if you know what I mean. So there's an opening for it. But at the moment, my computer's not reading the camera. And from what I can gather, it is because it can't handle more than one video camera per port. Or what I'm saying is, you may have 3 ports on the back of your computer, but you only have 1 bus or something like that. I've done a little bit of research here on this, and I believe that is the problem. Possibly, Lone Deer. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of looking into it right now. I mean, I'm not looking into it. I mean, I'm kind of casually. I'm sort of looking into it. What can I say? I'm not really. I'm not necessarily going about it. I'm not necessarily taking the right path here. I'm willy-nilly looking into it. I'm looking into my preferences right now, seeing if there's a way to acknowledge the camera, but I don't see really a place for that. I know what I could try to do. Here's a possible move that might throw off the video on one of my outputs here, but if I do it, maybe it would cause some kind of deal. I'm just going to take one off. Except for if I do that, I don't know where I'm taking it off. Well, look at this. This is not even doing anything. Well, that's fine. If it's not doing anything, it's not doing anything. Let me take this off. I just did. So if I take that off, so I lost that footage. That's gone. Now, if that's the case, yeah, it still doesn't, it's interesting. It does not want to pick up the new camera. So I suspect maybe there's something else going on, like maybe it isn't, because then my theory is it should be picking up this camera feed, but it isn't. Question mark. We have some questions here. So why wouldn't it be reading here? Huh. I mean, I would have thought that it would work. Well, I plugged the darn thing in. maybe I need to do some other kind of connection. Camera upload. Keep your memories safe. Never this device. Cancel. Start import. No, I don't want that. So it is connected. So well, obviously it's picking up on the computer. The computer's, it's connecting. Yeah, my FireWire port is. I got an iMac, Samuel. My FireWire port is being used, and I just have the one FireWire. And the question mark guy was for my webcam, that my brush cam that I disconnected just now. And I disconnected that. However, I'll put it back on. I think though it will not have to okay, it popped back in. Okay, so it popped back in pretty quickly there, so that's good. But it's not recognizing the new camera that only has a USB similar to like a webcam as a output. I'm seeing something there, USB connection on the computer. I don't know what that's doing for me. It might not be possible, but I'm okay that if that's the case. Maybe it needs to be somewhere in the settings. Well, right. No, I gather that that's probably the case. However, I thought maybe maybe I'd have to restart the computer or something for it to recognize the new computer. But basically okay, TikTok Tech Talk time 11:29. We're trying to hook up it's a Canon digital camera. It's like it's a cheap camera basically. It's the I don't know the name already, but it was like it was only $200, so I went for it. I kind of thought maybe I could hook it up. It's something like some 500 or something. It's some kind of F500 or something. Okay, anyway, it's just a cheap little gizmo. Hey, I'll get you a little picture of it. I think I can do that here. This is the camera that we're looking at right now. Brush cam. It's on brush cam. It's a little guy. It's a little teeny thing. And so, but what I was thinking is, why wouldn't this? If I unplug the web, see, here's the question. If I unplug the webcam, right? I unplug the webcam, which is a USB plug-in, and then plug in this camera, then why wouldn't, Wirecast and whatever recognize it? Now, I think maybe it would recognize. What camera are we on? Are we on camera 1 or camera 2? It might recognize it. However, I think I might need to restart the computer. So, as with a lot of things, maybe that needs to be done, and we're not going to be able to do that with you today, because then I would have to say goodbye to you, and I don't want to. I don't want to say goodbye to you. So I think that might be the other move that I might need to try. So I'll have to try that out, possibly. The other thought, though, why am I losing this camera shot? What is... I thought I had that shot working. What shot is that? What shot are we... Oh, I see. It's not picking it up because I didn't... There. The other thought here, as I get paint all over me, is can I take... Is there a way to convert a USB output from that camera and send it into a RCA so that I can feed it into can I do that? Can I convert this USB plug that's the output and make it so that it converts into a USB into an RCA analog, which would defeat the purpose of the digital, I know, but it would then feed into my analog digital converter, which then goes into the FireWire. It's a roundabout way, or better yet, possibly, maybe better yet, is there a switch that you can go USB that converts USB into FireWire? Is there a USB to FireWire cable? All right, it is. It's nothing. It's no big deal. I'll figure something out here. At some point, we will be up and running. But right now, we are constantly lost. As we should be. We should be lost. I mean, we could be lost. It's okay if we were. There is such a thing as USB, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I looked it up too. I looked it up, but I don't think it's going to work. And then also, I need a female, a receiver one as opposed to a male USB. Which I was reading reports that people said that there's no way that this even works. The gallery does have the treadmill. I will be running tonight at 8 p.m. But I do have another treadmill here, but I'm not running on it because I'm going to be running at the gallery. Though I haven't run all week, and it will be. I'll definitely be out of gas. I'm pretty sure. So, those are all great questions. And yeah, I'm just kind of wondering. Okay, so we'll try that. I'll try that out, I guess. Possibilities. But I'm looking forward to using this camera for filming purposes. Not so much maybe it was the idea just that was the idea ultimately. So, which is fine. No biggie. It's okay. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm okay. I'm all right, guys. I'm all right. I'm not gonna, this has bigger fish to fry. This sort of camera that might not patch in correctly to our digital offerings here, streaming offerings that we provide to you each and every day, Monday through Friday, 11 as well. If you want to call the program, you can, 818-528-4516. Maybe you can confuse me some more, or confuse the viewer more with your technology prowess to prove to the world how smart you are and stuff like that. Well, I know, I definitely, what I read though about the USB to RCA is definitely, you're not going to be sending USB, which would be then ultimately more than likely a analog feed. You're not going to be able to send that into a USB and think that it's going to go digital. You still got to go to the converter. So that route, going from analog to digital is not going to work. But I was thinking possibly that you could go digital to analog. And again, it's stupid. And I am stupid, I know. But it would be kind of dumb. Not the idea is stupid. Not that I'm stupid, but I could be stupid too. That possibly. I'm wondering if I am stupid. And at times I know I am. It would be defeat the purpose of it, of having something digital that you send it back to analog land, and then you send it back to digital. You can see what I'm saying. It's kind of dumb. However, it might be an interesting effect, which we're okay with. We like effects. We like the possibilities. Yeah. So you're saying a digital chip, whatever that means. Well, like I said, I knew it made total sense that you can't go from analog to digital without the converter, but I was thinking possibly you could go digital to analog. But again, it doesn't make any sense to go digital to analog back to digital. But is there a USB? So, is there a USB to FireWire? I guess we could look that up. I guess that's the next question. And then otherwise, there are things, and I can never figure this out. Like there's a Black Magic intensity deal or something like that. There are these kind of deals, dealy bobs, that you can put multiple USB cameras on, and then by way feed them into your computer. But I've seen conflicting reports in terms of price-wise. I see one gizmo that's like $300, and then I see something that's more like $3,000, and I get the impression that it's the $3,000 one that you need to get, so that you can put multiple USB port. And that's why I just say forget it. I'm not doing it. I can't. And the reason why I don't go all out, and maybe this is why I always will be kept down. I will always be kept down. The man is keeping me down. But I'm too practical, guys. I'm too practical. I'm not going to spend money on technology. I don't believe in it. You know, I could call those B&H photo guys, but you know what? Every time I call them, I get an attitude. I get an attitude from these guys. Every time I go to any electronics store, any place, they always look down on you. They make you feel like an idiot. They're never very helpful. Not unless you're on your A game. You have to. I feel like I have to do all the research in the first place, and then I just have them ultimately verify the research that I had. That's about all I get. That's all I can ever. That's the only time it ever works, and even then, it doesn't work because they don't care. They're just like, yeah, that's good. That you should get that. And then if you call, then if you call and you go, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to hook up this and this. Then they lead you into some bullshit and get you to buy a bunch of shit that you don't have money for or you don't want to spend. And then it becomes antiquated, and there's always another way around. And these guys and gals, for that matter, I got a feeling I've never gotten a woman at any of these electronic camera store warehouse places. Hey, we're doing just fine here. We're doing just fine here. I'm doing fine. I'm broadcasting, aren't I? I'm broadcasting. I'm just, every once in a while I guess I'm always wanting to add new things. And my job here is to communicate. And the technology that we have today, it is available. Leo Laporte type of technology, but it costs money. And that's where you come in. That's where you come in. For as little as $1 a day. See how I led right into that, right? As little as $1 a day. Mr. Jackson donated. He's $1 a month, or it could be $1 a day if you'd like. You set your own parameters there. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/Let'sPaintTV. And I guess in some ways that just even $1 will help us out. But anyway, for you to provide a high tech, top of the line kind of operation, you're talking about, well, maybe, I think the numbers I've always seen, like the cheapest route to do it, that is the most effective, it always seems like it's $5,000. Always $5,000. And then plus, on top of that, you have to get like business class upload speed. You have to also be willing to pay like T1 support, whatever, which is like another couple of $100 a month or more or something. So it's not, you think you're going to just be shoestringing it on streaming live stuff, and you can, but it's just going to always be kind of crappy forever, and it's because you have to go full-fledged. And what I hate actually, even if I were to have the money to do it and had the support to do it, it just seems like there is no correct way to do it without wasting money on stuff. Now, I don't got no beef about that in a sense, but I just don't have the money. And I don't have, and honestly, I don't have a beef about Solyndra, the government spending $5 billion on Solyndra and it went bankrupt, for solar panels, I have no issue with that. You gotta sometimes throw the money out and lose the money to learn and to advance. You got to pull the trigger, and government societies. There's money there, even though it feels as if there isn't. But there's always going to be money. There's always going to be money to make. Don't worry about a bunch of baby boomers retiring and welfare. Just stop that. That's just insanity. We'll keep going. We'll figure it out. And yes, money will be wasted. But that whole Solyndra thing was just people waste their energy and talking shit about that, and then there's some of their equation is, oh, we wasted money on a fucking solar panel company that went bankrupt, and it's our government money, our taxpayer money, and so because of that, we're not going to invest any more money in solar panels. Let's go back to fossil fuels. What asinine retardation is that? That is just the dumbest fucking thing. Idiots is what they are. And already, because of that failure, what's going on with solar power right now? I hear it is hiring, it is growing, it is going out of control. Solar power up 20%, blah blah blah. So you gotta screw things up sometimes to learn and to take your knocks. Now, I don't have the government. I don't have the money of the government. It's just me, and I'm too much of a cheapskate, so that I will never spend $5,000 on a computer system and more, $10,000, whatever the ridiculous amount it is, to make our program here extra special than it already is. But little nickel and diming, and little progression is still okay. There's nothing wrong with that too. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, 818-528-4516. Maybe you want to complain about my. Send money my way. Complain. Where are we? Complain about how am I. Why am I losing? Okay, let's get over here. Draw a money pie. Right? It takes a while to get this all lined up. I wish I had it all figured out for you, so that I can make my show. That's what I'm always battling. I'm trying to make this show as entertaining as possible, and I do feel as if I'm failing. But, as you well know, failing is also our friends. And through thick and thin, through these troubling times, we shall overcome. Bongo, what's this? It looks like a multiple USB port, and the software you have will work. Some guy on Google named Robert Bozo gave a pretty simple explanation. A multiple USB port. Maybe that's. I got to look into that. multi-pole USB port. However, I did read something about that, warning people that doesn't necessarily work, having multiple USB ports, because you only have so many buses in your computer, and so you could have multiple ports, but the multiple ports only go into the one or two buses, and because of that, you cannot actually have an operating system that works too well because of that. And so ideally, from what I understand, and again, I could be wrong, you need to find a way to get more buses, and then you can really get the show on the road. Again, a lot of confusion, a lot of stuff out there, technology-wise, and it's always changing. New developments, new moves. I always thought, though, I always think it'd be kind of interesting, though, if you could find a way to take technology that was the highest point of technology, but from or not 19, let's not go that far, but let's just go technology that was the top of the line technology from, like, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Get access to that and run all your stuff on equipment that's that old from that period of time. And you would think, well, I guess there'd be a couple of problems. Is getting access to that equipment that's not broken, and maybe you need, at least when you go back that far, you got to get tapes that cost money. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. Graphics card. It has come down to the graphics cards. It's all really what your computer can handle. And this computer I have is just an iMac that is about already 2 years old, and it's not a top of the line iMac. It was the cheap iMac you could get. So I'm kind of going the Clark well, what's his name? Clark Kellogg. Wait, was Clark? Some guy named Clark. He recommends just buy the cheapest stuff out there. But it's not the cheapest, because iMacs are not necessarily the cheapest. And I know some of you out there who are not Mac friendly, don't like Macs, will always say, well, you could get the biggest, beastiest PC for half the price of your stupid iMac. You could do all the things you dreamed of. I suppose so, but I don't want to build it, and it looks like a mess, and problems will ensue, and I'm not gonna go that route. Anyway, I've been doing internet streaming stuff for about 8 years now. Wait, 6 years? Maybe 7 now. No, just 6. I guess it's only been 6 from 2008. I think as has greeting cards that you send to each other, email greeting cards, email video greeting cards, as those have gone the way of no one does that anymore. No one really gets that jacked up about internet streaming video anymore. I don't think. And I think the problem is yes, it's great that we all get the opportunity, which I love. I mean, that's why I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. The quality is, I think people get tired of the quality factor that is put out. It's a combination too. It's a combination of so much. It is charming that in some ways I don't have anyone tell me what to do, and I don't have too much planned agenda. And I think people, and so you can see that a whole sea of people doing the same thing. And then also people who do have planned agendas, but because of their presentation, there's so many factors that ultimately people kind of go, I think I'd rather just watch a good TV show that's been, somehow choreographed. I don't think I need to watch this crap. But I'm well aware of that, and what I would say is the beauty of this at the same time is that you are just sort of hanging out and having a cup of coffee, and we're not so much worried about appealing to the masses all the time, though we try. Later on today, guys, 8 p.m., come on down to the Blackstone Gallery. We are going to blast it away. I have a special guest coming on the show. Blair Witch Project. No, people, see, you guys are watching because it's the sort of the train wreck aspect of reality is fresh. It's fresh in that sense. But what I'm saying is that it's also just hanging out, hanging out with somebody that you enjoy hanging out with, and you don't worry so much about the production qualities. You don't worry so much about content. You're just hanging out. It's like being at the bar, maybe, if anyone hangs out at a bar. I don't go to bars. I never understood bars. Again, you have to spend money to hang out at a bar. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that regularly. Let's put it that way. So it is, that part is really the best part. Well, it's I'm not, like I said, there's a part of me that is sort of over the whole thing. I'm a little over it. I mean, I'm not, I go back and forth with that, though. Obviously I would like to make it a little more, I do want, more times than not, to make this a more successful operation. However, I also know that I'm making use of this as a studio time also for myself. So I'm being selfish here in the sense that I'm making this existence, this parcel of time also as an experiment. So I do enjoy that. Otherwise, if I weren't not able to enjoy that, then I would have quit a long time ago for sure. particularly when we have only like 5 people watching the program. But like I said, we talked about this before. I think it's just harder and harder to really cultivate an audience. Now, I probably should try to put this stuff on maybe some of the other portals at the same time. That could make a big difference too. I just keeping it all there on YouTube might be not the right. I don't know. I play around with that. I don't know. However, I think the real trick here is to piggyback on a larger entity, an entity that supports you, and really, because of YouTube, how gigantic it is, they're not able to support you, or they're not aware of you because they're aware of other stuff, or they have other agendas on their, obviously. So, and their whole live portal thing is not a very well conceived operation, like other live portals, live streaming portals are. I don't think they've really put a good amount of effort into making it more of a place to go to. I really don't think so. I think they've kind of kept that as a bastard child of sorts. But then at the same time, I don't, Well, yeah, Adult Swim. Yeah, that'd be. I'll tell you what, 15 minutes. That'd be great. They kind of know of me. They know about me, and they could easily do it. I could easily do it. At least try. I didn't have any water this whole time, and we didn't experiment with the sound thing. Okay, well anyway, I was trying to figure out this camera. I guess it's an interesting camera. It's got some high tech features for $200. It's anyway. Apparently, it's the #1 camera. It's got like a touch screen. All right. Well, anyway, today, like I said, we have later on today, Blackstone Gallery. We'll have a live welcome. You're welcome to come. I will be running on a treadmill. I will be cooking. I will be painting and interviewing a special guest. And tomorrow, likewise, Saturday, Blackstone Gallery, 9th and Broadway. Yesterday, too, I don't know if you saw this on, Instagram or Facebook, Twitter. I conducted a just sort of impromptu painting census. Painted everyone who came into the gallery. And I have that posted on those various portals. Do you see how it is? We're all a lot of portals. A lot of portals out there. Anyway, so look for that. We'll probably do that again next Thursday at the Blackstone Gallery. We ended up painting 22 people on the canvas. It is past 12 o'clock here. That is well past our bedtime. About ready for a nap. No. Or I guess I could take a nap. I could. You know, I got to rest up. I'm definitely going to stretch. That's one thing I got to do is stretch. Yeah. Stretch and get going. Maybe do some investigation of some sort. But I don't know what the point is, frankly. Actually, I think we've done quite a lot of advancement here. I guess. Take a look at our tweets. Some new tweets. Yes. It was. It was. If you a lot of times too, you got to look back on a week, and yeah, some days you can just not be motivated to do anything. That's why I'm always like amazed at seeing someone like, say, the president or people on TV, like particularly every day, where they have to perform like all the time. I mean, I perform, I guess, but when you think about it, I'm free to kind of just be a failure on camera. I'm free to just question my life and fall flat on my face as part of the continuum of my existence of who I am, because that's what I do, and I do it well. But boy, I'm always amazed at seeing people that are able to just be on and all the time, and I think really it has a lot to do with the push that they get and support from others in terms of staff and producers and directors. I mean, they really keep you. They always are lighting your ass on fire, basically, so that you are not going to be going, falling asleep on camera. Which have I done that yet? I probably should experiment on that. I have thought about that, just keeping the camera on me while I take a nap. That would be kind of good. Anyway. I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Predictions. Okay, predictions for football. Football predictions. I'm going to go... I tell you what, I'm just going to pick the teams I want. I don't really care about any of the teams, but I guess I'm kind of rooting for the Colts. So I'm going to say the Colts beat New England. And I kind of doubt that Green Bay is going to beat Seattle in Seattle, but let's just say they do. And so it's going to be Green Bay and Colts, and then the Colts win in the Super Bowl. Just because that's what I want to see. So it's not really a prediction. It's more what I want to see happen. Okay. Take that. You would stop watching, Sam? Well, at some point, Samuel, you're going to have to stop watching, because that's what everyone does. Everyone does get tired of watching me every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 12 noon. You just cannot possibly keep watching me, even if I keep talking and doing different things and never know what I'm going to be doing kind of thing each and every day. At some point, you get tired. I can't, I could watch, various TV programs and think I could watch them forever and ever and ever and ever. And you get tired of it, even though they keep going and going and going. At some point, you get tired of it. You got to move on. Lone Deer, you are a sucker for punishment, and so am I. That's why I'm here. I keep punishing myself. Some days are better. Today's not so bad. I got to say, I'm not really... this week wasn't so bad. I'm not really having too much anguish in my mental telepathic I don't know where I'm going with that, but I'm somewhat. I guess what I'm saying is I'm somewhat content about my existence, or at least I'm being optimistic here, or at least I'm pretending to be, and I like that. Sometimes you got to pretend, or at least hope for the best, and try to be your best, which I think I more times than not try to pursue. Does it make me feel any better? At times, yes, but surprisingly, it's not always. It doesn't always make you feel better. Trying to do good, you can still feel bad. You can still feel down. I don't know if that's like just some little inherent depression aspect of life, or you just don't want to acknowledge. I think it's sometimes you just don't want. You're not able to acknowledge. The good that maybe you put forth, and you don't want to accept it, and so that's why you feel bad. I don't know, but I feel all right. Frustrated, broke, but I feel like I'm still going to go out into the world and keep smiling. But no, not right now. I'm not going to smile right now. It's hard to smile, It is kind of hard to smile, I gotta say. It's a lot easier to frown. When you're sleeping, are you smiling? Rarely are you actually smiling. You're more so, when you're on downtime, when you're taking it easy, you're not really smiling, are you? You're resting. So when you're resting, you're not really smiling. Well, I think that's it for me here today. Have a great weekend. My predictions, Colts, Green Bay, because that would be great to just see those two teams win, I guess. Whatever. Though, it's probably not going to be the case. It's going to be New England and Seattle for the Super Bowl. Which could be a good game, too, What? It takes more muscles to frown than to smile? No way. It hurts to smile. It kind of hurts. But it kind of feels good too. All right. Well, anyway, guys, you guys, hopefully we'll see you tonight at Blackstone Gallery, 9th and Broadway. I'm gonna sign off and I guess get ready to head on down. I'm gonna get down there a little earlier anyway, so try to beat the traffic ultimately. There's a window here in LA. If you don't get out of that, if you don't try to get out by 3 o'clock, between basically 3 to 7, you're doomed. You're doomed. You can't. You're gonna actually spend basically from 3 to 8 for the most part. You're going to basically spend an extra half an hour in traffic. Which I guess if you get used to it, I guess people get used to it. I just never got used to it. I mean, that's one thing. If I ever leave LA and maybe go to a small town or something and just live there, I will not miss the traffic. That's for sure. All right. If I said enough, we talked about a lot of stuff. Technology problems, solar panels, smiling. That's pretty good. Amongst other things. What else did we talk about? I said I was going to go, and I am. And this is it. So thanks for hanging out, you guys, and we'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.